Hey there, thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Paula. So today's a really lovely, gentle, flowing sequence that is great for the morning, but you can do it anytime as well. So make sure you're nice and comfortable. We're going to start the practice in a seated position. We'll do a few things in our cross-legged position. If you find that uncomfortable, maybe grab yourself a blanket or something or a block so you can sit up. It sometimes helps if you just elevate your hips a little bit. If it's really not available, then you could sit in a chair. For most of it, you could do in a chair, okay? And then you'll have to come off the chair when we start moving onto the mat. Let's make a start in our cross-legged position. And let's bring the right leg in front if it's not already there. Just resting the hands down onto the legs. And just take your own time when you're ready, closing down the eyes. Taking a few moments here. Starting to drop into the breath and drop into the body. Starting to extend into your breathing. Slowing down the inhale. And slowing down the exhale. Another couple of moments with the eyes closed. And then let's blink open the eyes. Placing the hands onto the knees if they're not already there. And we'll take a cat-cow action here. So pressing down to the palms of the hands to draw the shoulder heads back and extend through the spine. Sternum's reaching forward. Eyes can lift up as you inhale, and then as you exhale, C-curving the spine. So curling the tailbone under, draw the navel in, tuck the chin in, and then taking an inhale to go back the other way, extending through the spine, shoulder heads back, lift the eyes, inhaling, and then as you exhale, going the other way, curling the tailbone under, draw the belly button back, C-curve through the upper back, and then inhale to extend, and exhale to C-curve. And again, inhale to extend and exhale to C-curve. And then let's just come back up to center, lengthening up through the spine, extending the arms out up to shoulder height, reaching out through the fingertips, taking an inhale. As you exhale, taking that right hand down away from the hip and take the left arm up and over, palms facing down, reaching out through the fingertips, and then taking an inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, bring that left hand down, right arm comes up and over, left shoulder dropping away from the ear, and then inhale, coming back up through center. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over. Let's hold this one. Drop that right shoulder away from the right ear. And then let's take this left hand and cradle the base of the head. So you can just use the hand to gently lengthen out through the neck, and maybe your eyes are turning to look up towards the ceiling. If that feels too much on your neck, then just let the head look forward. Now from here, we're going to take an inhale to bend that right elbow a little bit more towards the mat. And then as you exhale, start to straighten through the right arm and then rotate the upper body a little bit further towards the ceiling. And then let's come back, rotate back to face the front. Let that right elbow bend a little bit. Inhale. Press down through that left sitting bone, and then as you exhale, straight to the right arm, rotate the upper body to face the ceiling. And then we'll just go one more time. Come back to center, release that right elbow down, inhale. Exhale to press down through that left sitting bone and rotate open towards the ceiling with the chest. Just take another breath here, holding in stillness. And then rotate back to center. Bend that right elbow down if you would like to, or you might be able to come all the way down, just whatever feels okay for your body today. And then let's extend that left arm up and over the side of the head, reaching out through the fingertips. And then taking an inhale, coming back up through center. As you exhale, twisting to the right, taking the back of that left hand to the outside of the right thigh, right hand behind you, and turning the upper body towards the right. Let your eyes settle somewhere. So both sitting bones stay grounding down onto the mat. Lengthen up through both sides of the waist. Taking one more inhale, lengthen up through both sides of the waist. As you exhale, see if there's any more space to take a little bit more of a twist. We're going to hold the twist. Just take the palm of the left hand and hold onto the right knee. And then from here, think about the left shoulder coming towards the left knee. We're going to come over onto this diagonal with the right arm coming up and over the side of the head. Right sitting bone keeps pressing down, opening up through that right side body. Now try to come down a little bit more. Then we're just going to release just very slightly. Take an inhale, a little breath, and then exhale. Come down a bit deeper once again. And come back up. Inhale, a little breath, and then exhale. Reach out through the right fingers. One more time. Inhale, and then exhale. And then let's take an inhale, coming back up, releasing back to center, and then on your exhale breath, starting to walk the hands forward. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Deep, easy breaths. Taking an inhale, walk your hands back upright. And then let's open our legs out into our Upavishta Konasana. And they might not be super wide, you can bring them a little bit more narrow. Just press down through the backs of the legs. Extend those arms out up to shoulder height again. Take an inhale, exhale, right hand onto the right leg, left arm up and over, left sitting bone presses down, and then inhale, coming up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm comes up and over, and then inhale, coming up. And then cross the legs once again, left leg in front of the right this time. Taking those arms back out into that T shape, take an inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down onto the mat, right arm up and over, and then inhale, coming back upright. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over. And one more time, inhaling, and then exhale. Left hand comes down, right arm up and over, holding it here. Eyes can look up towards the ceiling, and then take that right hand to the base of the head. Just using that hand to just continue to lengthen out through the neck and press down through that right sitting bone. Now, as you inhale, we're going to bend a little bit deeper into that left elbow. And then as you exhale, start to straighten to that left arm and then take a rotation with the upper body up towards the ceiling. And then rotate back to center, bend into that left elbow, inhale, and then exhale to straighten and turn the upper body to the ceiling. And we'll just go one more time. Bend into that left elbow, inhale, and then exhale to straighten and rotate open. Let's just hold it here for a breath. And then rotate back to center, bending into that left elbow a little bit more if you'd like to. And let's extend that right arm up and over. Keep pressing down through that right sit bone. And then on the next in breath, let's recover back up to center. And then as you exhale, twisting to the left, back of the right hand to the back of the front of that left thigh. Both sit bones keep grounding down, particularly that right sitting bone. And just allowing the eyes to rest somewhere. Extending up through both sides of the waist as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just noticing if there's any more space. And we'll go one more breath. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Maybe there's a little bit more space. Keep the twist. Let's take hold of that left knee with the right hand, and then thinking about that right shoulder leaning over towards that right knee, left arm comes up and over, coming into this side bend again, pressing down through that left sitting bone. And then just coming up that little bit of a breath in, inhale, and then exhale to reach out, coming in a bit deeper again, and then inhale, release, and then exhale, come a bit deeper. One more time. Inhale to release, and then exhale, coming a bit deeper. And then let's take an inhale, coming back up to center, returning back to the front, and then on your exhale breath, walking your hands forward. Muscles at the base of the neck relaxing away from the ears. And then let's take an inhale. Walk your hands back upright, opening out the legs out into your wide-legged pose, taking the arms out to the side, inhaling, exhale, left hand comes down to the left leg, right arm up and over, and then inhale back to center, right hand comes down, left arm up and over, and then inhale back to center. Bring the legs together and come over the knees into your tabletop position, setting up the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then let's take a look behind the right shoulder over towards the right hip, and then over left shoulder, looking over to the left hip. And then going again, looking over the right shoulder to the right hip, and looking over the left shoulder to the left hip. Taking a few cat-cows here, option to point the fingers towards the knees if that feels available to you. Feel free to keep the fingers pointing forward. Otherwise, let's release the belly down, shoulder tips away from the ears as you lift the eyes up, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes under, C-curve through the spine, draw the navel in and tuck the chin in. And then we'll go again. Inhale to release. And then exhale to draw everything up to the ceiling. We'll go one more time. Inhale, release. And then exhale, coming into your cat. And then coming back to center. Turn the fingers to point forward if they're pointing towards the knees. And then let's take our happy puppy here. So letting the hips stay over the knees. And you might pop your chin or your forehead down. Just holding it here. Pressing down through the palms of the hands and thinking about the armpits rotating to face one another. So we're not just collapsing down through the shoulder girdle here. And then shifting onto the belly, come down to the forearm so you can come all the way down onto the belly. Feet can stay hip distance apart. Press down through the tops of the feet, hands just underneath the shoulder. Squeeze the elbows in. Take an inhale into your cobra. Elbows keep squeezing in, press down through the tops of the feet. Taking another inhale and then exhale. Release it down. Shift back through your tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Come into your down facing dog. And you can take any movement that you'd like in your down facing dog, maybe pedaling out through the feet or shifting side to side. Or you might choose that you want to hold stillness. And then if you've been moving, just come to stillness for a breath. And then looking forward towards the hands, bring the hands in a little bit closer together, and then we'll step the right foot to the outside of the right hand and the left foot to the outside of the left hand, and then sitting down into your Malasana squat, bringing the palms of the hands together for a moment, thinking about the inner thighs squeezing in as the elbows press out, lengthening up through the spine. And then let's release those hands, the palms are facing up towards the ceiling. You're going to press out with the upper arms into the inner thighs as you keep squeezing in. Take an inhale to extend through the spine. And then as you exhale, allow the spine to curve and rotate the backs of the hands to face one another. Just really C-curving, and then taking an inhale to extend up again. Press the upper arms against the inner thighs, and then exhale. C-curve, backs of the hands face one another, and then inhale to extend. We'll just go one more time. In, exhale to C-curve, and then inhale to extend, and then bring the palms down and lift the hips up towards the ceiling, coming into your Uttanasana. And then let's just bring the feet in so they're just hip distance apart, letting the head relax down, upper bodies relax, and feel free to keep the knees as bent as you need to. Let's give the head a little shake no, and then a little shake yes. Taking an inhale into your halfway lift, hands can come to the shin bones, and then exhale, fold down. Soften through the knees, take a spinal roll to come all the way up to standing. Arms out to the side, inhaling, palms and hands come together. Exhale, folding down into your Uttanasana. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees. If you need your hands, feel free to use your hands to come all the way to sitting. Otherwise, extend the arms forward as you bring yourself down. Shift the feet a little bit further away from your bottom. Take the hands about a forearm's distance behind you. Fingers are pointing forward, hands shoulder distance apart. You're pressing down through the hands to lift the chest up. This might be enough for you if you'd like to lift the hips up, coming into your reverse tabletop. Grounding down through the feet. You can keep looking down the body, or if it feels available, you can let the head relax back. Take one more inhale, lift the hips up a little bit higher. And then let's bring the head back and release the hips down and extend the legs long. Now, let's bring this right foot back so the toes are pointing back and the top of the foot is down. If this feels like it's too much on your knee, then you could place the sole of the foot to the inner edge of the thigh. Otherwise, toes pointing back. Just taking a moment to try to get this right sitting bone down. And if it's possible, we're going to start to lean back. And it might be enough for you to just stay here or come down to the elbows. If it's available, you might come a little bit further down onto the forearms, and then you could just lift the hips up and try to curl the tailbone under a little bit to lengthen out through the lower back. And then maybe you can come all the way down onto your back. We don't want to be working through any sharp pain, so please come out of this if it feels like it's too much for you here. If it's feeling okay still, maybe bring those arms up above the head, taking hold of the forearms or the elbows. And just stay here for 3 full breaths. Just listening in and noticing if there's any little pockets of space that open up. And then let's start to transition out. So bring those arms down. If they're up above the head, come onto the forearms and then make your way back up to a seated position. And then let's release that leg out. And let's go straight away to the other side. Take that left foot back. And I should have said before, so if you have any knee issues, then this pose definitely probably won't feel right for you. So make sure that you take that foot to the inner edge of the right thigh. So just starting upright, trying to let that left sitting bone drop down, and then starting to shift a little bit further back, just testing it out, maybe coming down to the forearms, and you might want to lift the hips, try to tuck the tailbone under a little bit, lengthen out through the lower back, and then maybe come all the way down onto your back and take hold of the elbows or forearms. And just taking that breath to the top of that left thigh, the top of the left hip. With each exhale, just noticing if there's any space. And one more full breath. And then releasing the arms down by your side if they're above the head, coming up onto the forearms and just taking your time to come back upright, releasing that left leg long, bringing the feet together side by side, and then let's take Paschimottanasana. So bring those arms up, inhaling, reaching out through both sides of the waist, and then as you exhale, folding forward from the hips. You can hold calves, ankles, outside edges of the feet. Let's take another in-breath to lengthen out. And then as you exhale, folding down to where you can. Continue to engage the quadriceps here. So still pretty active, pressing down through the backs of the legs. As you exhale, drawing the belly button in towards the spine and noticing if that creates any space. 2 more full breaths. And then let's take an inhale, coming back upright, arms up at shoulder height. You could use your hands, but if you can, rolling all the way down onto your back, drawing the belly button in, and then releasing the arms down by your side, opening the feet out wide as the hips, palms facing up. Just making sure that you're warm enough. When you feel ready, closing down the eyes. Surrendering the weight of the body. And releasing the jaw. And softening the back of the throat. Soft belly. Whole body letting go. Allowing yourself to rest here for the next few minutes. Please feel free to stay resting here if you'd like to. If you're ready to start moving, take a little wriggle through the fingers and the toes. Starting to deepen into your breathing. And then bending one leg up at a time, rolling over onto the right hand side. Just using your underneath arm just to rest your head for a couple of moments. And then making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Just resting the hands down at the legs, keeping the eyes closed. Just feeling the length of the spine. Just allowing the face to be soft and the shoulders soft. Bringing the palms of the hands together into your prayer in front of the chest. Bowing the head down towards your hands. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice. Namaste.